Here's the bottom line. Dak Prescott, first 24 games of his career, 18-6. He looked absolutely phenomenal. Had star written all over him. We were having debate about it as to whether or not he or Carson Wentz were the future. And then over the last 9 or 10 games or so, he's like 4-5. He's got a rating of 75. Has not been impressive. 200-yard games. Only had, it's about 5 times he's thrown for less than that. They've scored 10 points or less. He has not been impressive, to say the least. And he's got to step up. He's got to handle his business. He's got to show that he's worthy of being the leader. Because right now, one of the things that has gone unsaid throughout all of this is this reality. Jerry Jones looks very good right now in his hesitancy initially to anoint Dak Prescott. If you recall, Dak Prescott was balling his rookie year, and everybody was talking about how Jerry Jones, including myself, we were talking about how Jerry Jones didn't want to give it up. He wanted to hold on for dear life to Tony Romo, his adopted son, essentially. Well, now we're seeing why. Because the reality is that over the last 9 or 10 games, Tony Romo has really looked that bad. He's really looked that ineffective. He may have made mistakes trying to be a gunslinger, trying to do a bit too much, overcompensate. But when you look at Dak, Dak is not doing that. Tony Romo was a gunslinger. Dak Prescott is not that guy. And he's going to have to show up. It's just that simple.
Can Dak respond to Landon Collins' challenge? No. He shouldn't, and he couldn't anyway. When Dak Prescott throws the ball more than 30 times, the Cowboys lose. It's that simple. When he throws it fewer than 30 times, they win. That's what happens. That's the game. You run the ball through Ezekiel Elliott, that's the Cowboys' offense. But it doesn't mean Dak Prescott, under other circumstances, might not be able to do it. Here's the problem right now with the Cowboys and asking Dak to do that. And it's the same problem that the Rams had a couple of years ago. Remember when it was like, oh, is Jared Goff a bust? Hey, Todd Gurley's not even in Ezekiel Elliott's class. I told people back then Gurley was, actually I think he's a little better than Ezekiel Elliott, but absolutely an elite running back. But when all you have is a quarterback and a running back, especially when you don't have the following 3 things, this kills you. O-line, receivers, and a great coach. If you don't have an O-line, and the Cowboys' brand was O-line, that's what made them different. It's in shambles right now. Boy, you better have some receivers. They don't have those either. And if you don't have either one of those, you better have a brilliant coach who can somehow scheme his way out of it. Now, I'll say this. Look at the Rams a couple of years ago with Jeff Fisher as coach, no O-line, no receivers. Stephen A., what happened? They signed Whitworth from the Bengals, shore up the line, right? They go get receivers. They got a receiving core now, and they have a brilliant young coach. Now you see Goff and Gurley and what they can do. Dak and Zeke right now, especially Dak, are simply not in the position where they can do that.
But I think what you're missing is how Todd Gurley's presence enables them to be so effective because of play action and beyond for Jared Goff. If you are the Dallas Cowboys, are you looking for Dak Prescott to have 350 and 400 plus yard passing games? Not necessarily. But because you have Ezekiel Elliott as the ultimate decoy, you should be able to do something more effectively than Dak Prescott has done. And the reality is that he has not over the last 9 or 10 games. So he's just got to get it together. We can't sit up there and.
But there's another.
I got a problem with Jason Garrett and Scott Linehan. I got a problem with Jerry Jones leaving those puppets in place. I got a problem with with Stephen Jones, by the way, sitting up there calling Troy Aikman an armchair court. Excuse me. Are you talking about the 3-time champion Troy Aikman? The last time you were relevant, Troy Aikman was your quarterback. The audacity, the unmitigated gall for this man, Stephen Jones, to sit up there and say something like that about Troy Aikman. He owes Troy Aikman an apology because that man helped deliver 3 championships.
But there's more. There's 2 parts to this. One is, should Dak or can Dak respond to the challenge? I told you why he can't, but let me tell you why he shouldn't try anyway. Why does someone talk trash about you publicly? To get in your head, bait you, get you out of your game. You want to respond to that? You want to do that? What did Teddy Bruschi say about the Patriots? Are they going to try and prove a point with Gronk and right now against
Yeah.
Jalen Ramsey? No, not unless they got a 3-touchdown lead or something. They're not trying to prove a point. They're trying to beat you.
Wait, so you don't like that Dak responded or that Landon Collins was talking trash?
I don't mind that Dak responded verbally.
Yeah.
It just better not affect what they do on the field.
But what about
Well,
Landon even
My
saying
only
it? Do you
problem-
like that Landon came out
I
and
have
said
no
that?
problem with Landon because he's going to go on the field and back it up. Landon Collins can ball. Let him say what he wants
He's
to say.
a beast.
Not only is he a beast, look at who he's going against.
Mm-hmm.
The Dallas Cowboys offense has not been that impressive, at least in week 1. Not only that, Max, think about this for a second here. When you talk about the Dallas Cowboys and you're saying, well, you know what, Dak Prescott better not respond or whatever, you better focus on winning. Excuse me, they haven't been winning. Maybe focusing on something else might help you.
Yeah,
because
but they
whatever
don't,
they've
they
been
don't
doing,
win when
it
he, but they,
hasn't
when they
been
do
working.
win, he throws under 30 passes. When they don't win, he throws over 30. So now you, of course, Landon Collins wants to throw over 30
when he's
passes.
thrown over 30 passes, it's usually, not always, but it's usually when Ezekiel Elliott was out for the 6 games that he missed. What I'm saying to you is you're not going to be throwing over 30 times if Ezekiel Elliott is running the football over 20 times.
So what do you know in terms of defense to stop the Cowboys? You focus on Ezekiel Elliott. You say, okay, Dak, try to beat us. That's what Landon Collins means. And he's simply not equipped at the line, with the receivers, with the coaching staff, and with a running back who's not going to be as effective because all attention will be on him. What's Dak supposed to do?
Giants got questions on the line, too. Both of these teams are 0-1. We are in Vegas. If you were a betting man, Stephen A., whose money would you be on? Which team?
Giants. The Giants.
Even though it's at Dallas?
Because I got questions about Dallas's offense. I got questions about the offense. I'm not impressed with the pass options that Dak Prescott has available to him. Listen, Terrence Williams, Cole Beasley, Allen Hurns. I mean, come on now. Are they knocking my socks off? No.
Let me